Loading. Scanning. Launch.
Welcome to part 4. Yay, you made it almost all the way there. It's going to become a lot simpler and we should be able to see the game work this time. So, if you've gotten this far, you should have your temp check. Now this is to check the color and make sure it's not black. Because if it stayed black, how would they know which one got switched? So, we're going to run to the document .get element by ID. And we're going to get the element button. And we want to pick a specific button, so we're going to concatenate again with X, because remember, we're running through this. So, while it's in our for loop, we can actually use X to determine which button are we changing. And we're going to say style, so we know to change the style, and background color, so we know that we're changing the background color to color, which we just changed to the correct color. So we are now updating the color correctly. And now I just need to check all the brackets for if function. Alright, I think that's it for that function. We might have to come back to it. Now, we got to do a little something special down near the bottom. See, over here, these do nothing yet. So now we got to make them do something. On click, we're going to make them go submit and then their color. And we're going to go to that function. We could also do an overall function and pass it its class or this.element, but honestly, this is easier for someone not super skilled and not really heavy into object-oriented programming right now, or doesn't know it, which I'm assuming you guys are, seeing you're just learning JavaScript. And you can make powerful things without even knowing object-oriented programming. So, we want on click to go to submit red, and in green, we're going to paste this in there, and we're going to go to green, and then blue, and then yellow. Oh, whoops. Submit yellow. So, this is going to make it so much easier than trying to go this, whatever, because I don't know object-oriented programming, or I don't know what's going on. This is going to just make that easy and not have to know that by making each one go to a separate function. It may take up a little more space and text. It may not be as efficient, but it is definitely easier. Function submit red. Check my spelling. It's obviously a function. If current turn equals 1, because we want to make sure it's the player's turn when we're allowing them to do this as much as possible. We're going to say another check. If order PC player count, how many times have they clicked, equals 1, or my bad. Yes, I gotta explain this better for you guys. Order PC. PC stands for player count, like I said in the first video. So order will go through it which has 100 openings in it. 101 to be exact, if I think correctly. And PC will say, I want to go to the 32nd one in that row. Which, if we had it randomly generate a green there, obviously if they click red, that would be incorrect. So, if it was green, it would be equal to 3 or 2. I think 2. Yeah, it'd be equal to 2. But because it's red, it's equal to 1. And if they click green and it's not equal to 1, because it's 2, green is 2, it'll be error. It won't run through this check. So we want to make sure they're clicking the right button in the right spot. And if they do, we're going to reward them with 100 points. Points plus 100. But if they were wrong, we're going to game over them. Because, screw having lives in Simon. Game over. So, just as easy as that. Now after we run our check, they've obviously clicked to get here, so we're going to make PC++, player count++. If PC equals total count, the amount of times we flash to the player, the amount of times it allows them to go, because Simon is 1, then 2, then 3. You wouldn't want them to try to do all 100 at once. And if it is equal to that, we're going to pass the turn over to the computer. And we're going to reset the player's info so that they can start again. PC equals 0, total count ++, show order. Now, we will run back up to show order after their turn, when it's the computer's turn, to go through the next sequence, to show the next order. Now, we can just copy and paste this. That easy. So submit red, submit red. Well, we don't want to run this twice, so we want this one to be green, because that's our second color. And then we're going to change this to 2, because green is 2. And that's all you have to change. You need all 4 colors. So then we do this for blue, and blue is 3. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to put a 3 there. That'll mess up our code putting a 3 there, so make sure you don't put that 3 there. And that's all you need to do for blue, and you just do the same thing for yellow. And then yellow's obviously going to be 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are our colors. We just have one last function we have to go through, and that would be function game over. And in this, all we want to do is alert the player, hey, you gamed over, because they wouldn't know otherwise, and they scored. And we want to concatenate the points value in there so it spits out the points. And then, total count, we're going to make 0. That way, they can't play at all. And we're going to make sure that they've pushed it 100 times or more. That way, they've reached their max limit and they can't even run to the database and gain more points after winning. If everything is correct in our game, we should be able to play Simon. Oh, but we ran into an error. At least I think we did. I do not see an error here. Did I refresh this? I'm not seeing colors change black. So I'm going to check my show function and everything really quick. Okay, so I've spent a lot of time looking into this, and what I've noticed is total count is 0. And to make this playable, we want this to be at least 2. This determines how many sequences start. We want there to be 2 at the start. So let's hopefully see if this works. Oh, there we go. And just like that, you have Simon. And it is quite simple. There's a few extra things you can do, but when it comes to coding, gotta make sure on everything, like I said, that total count at 0, it just, nothing would play. Now, really there was a clickable element, but it was just not important. And I scored 200, which means I got 20 correct in a row, because we gave points of 100. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.